Get ready. It's time for the Me and Jesse podcast with Mark Pavelich and Jesse Martineau.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Me and Jesse podcast. My name is Mark Pavelich, and across the way in the Grove, the star of the show, the one and only, everybody, yes, Jesse Martineau.
What up? How you
What's
doing?
going on?
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Funny thing is that the world is going crazy out there, and sports isn't immune to it. Is that the right word? Or is
No,
that too
it's
soon?
not that it's immune. It's not. No, it wouldn't be immune. It would be more like
We're not. It's not immune. It means it can.
It's
get
not.
it.
Yeah, it's
It
not
means
immune
it
to
can
it.
Catch
It's
the
not
craziness.
correct.
It sure can, and it definitely does every day. It's actually
Yes.
kind of mind blowing how many times you go back. I was actually going through recently the top 20 craziest controversies or mind blowing moments in sports, and the list is pretty
crazy.
intense. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is like corruption, obviously buying off people. Salt Lake City bribing officials to get their Olympics in 2002. Things like Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was a
Geez, man,
beauty.
was a
That
good
one.
Holy moly! Wasn't that the same Olympics? It might have been. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't-
Oh no, maybe it was France or something.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, different one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Maradona hand of God thing. I mean, there's so many crazy ones, and then places like they call it the Black Sox, but it was the White Sox that 8 players threw the World Series game because a mobster was bribed them to do it.
And don't forget FIFA. Just say FIFA.
Yeah, I mean FIFA. Alone.
You don't have to say nothing. You
Yeah.
just say FIFA.
Yeah.
FIFA. It's just FIFA.
And then all the drug scandals, the McGuire one, the Bonds one, the Lance Armstrong. Like, man, there's been a lot of things.
Lance
going
just
on.
showed his face recently because he's now pumping some kind of supplement, which I started laughing, and I thought to myself, who would buy a supplement from Lance Armstrong? And also the Tour de France is on right now, right? So he kind of shows his face right now,
Yes,
and
right.
he hasn't shown it in a very long time.
Well,
so
I mean, he can't argue that his supplement routine was very good.
yeah, really good.
Am I wrong? Come on.
Yeah,
He was taking the supplements that won him the Tour de France 5 times in a row or whatever it was. Those supplements, I'm buying every supplement he has. Actually, it's probably the best marketing supplement idea I've ever heard in my life. Everyone should just cancel everyone. Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, Lance Armstrong should all become, and Aaron Rodriguez should all become, Alex Rodriguez.
Alex,
Should all become supplement suppliers like tomorrow. That would be the
it's
funniest thing.
it's hilarious because most kids in the gym would buy it.
Oh,
They would
100% they would.
Yeah, they would be like, "Oh shit, Lance Armstrong
Hey,
just
those
came
guys,
out with
they
a
would think the
supplement?"
same that I just thought. Those guys
Yeah.
know what's up. They know how to get on the program. And so, remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, great movie.
The Program with Wesley Snipes, I think.
Yeah,
Football.
Yeah, it was back in the
Yeah, back in injuries and roids and everything was hitting the fan then. NCAA rules going crazy. One thing I scrolled across, which was mind-blowing, the year 2000, the Paralympic. So the Paralympics, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, the Spanish basketball team won gold medal. Great. Good for them. Turns out 10 of the 12 players had no disability whatsoever.
Oh my god!
You
Like
cheated the
that's
Paralympics.
come on, man. Come on, man.
How is,
Like seriously, man.
who
you
had
should
that
be.
idea?
Oh, this. I've said this for years. We need to bring the slap back, and we do. We just have to be able to slap people because that's a slap. You need to get a slap. You need to get a slap because you're pretending that you have some type of, disability or some type of, I mean, come on, man.
Oh,
like,
jeez. Jeez.
Shame on you,
believe
Spain.
that one.
Spain, you culprits. Spain, you shifty pricks. Like your whole country is just despicable. Like because anybody, yeah, no, but who would ever do that? You're a reflection of what your country does, right? So it's despicable.
23 years, and I don't even remember that. How did they get a pass on that?
Well, because listen, how does Lance Armstrong get a pass on what he did? He's now pumping supplements because, as we know in this world, right? Listen to me when I tell you this. Michael Vick.
I know. I was just going to say it.
Was
I had
running
next.
dog fights. Ladies, all you so-called woke people in the world today, okay? You're so woke. All you animal lovers are so woke. You know what happens is you guys are so fucking idiotic because you know what you do? You immediately divert yourself to another problem, okay? So, Mike, and listen, you know what's funny? I'll say it right on the show. Vic is awesome on NFL Network. He's awesome. Like he has signed a contract with the NFL Network. He is now one of their guys, right. And he's very good. Now, sure. I also wasn't shit talking him about the dog stuff either because I didn't. It's despicable, but he was doing it. And the funny part is the whole world's so woke. Michael Vick is being like literally hey, Michael Vick this, Michael Vick this, Michael Vick's the greatest. He's the greatest. Everybody forgot, Jesse, that this is the same cat that had all his boys from the hood betting on dogs in his own barn in the back of his house.
You know what? Let's take it a step further, and we look at Kobe Bryant, where has to settle out of court for a sexual assault / rape, even dumbing that down, but gets to a pass on that, and then of course tragically passes away. But nobody mentions that then.
No, bro. This is the world we live in now. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like gone today, forgotten. It's back. You reinvent yourself. You cut your hair. You shave your beard. You come back as another person. You know what's funny too, though? Everybody loves like a happy ending. Everybody loves the happy ending. Everybody wants to see people thrive, but that doesn't pertain to people putting on dog fights. Okay. Right. That doesn't pertain to certain things. Like that pertains to people having cancer or someone having some form of disease or someone, whatever the case may be, and coming back from that. Coming back from dog fighting, Ray Lewis coming back from, oh, you mean I didn't kill the guy? My driver did.
The other guy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's insane, but this is the world we live in today. Yeah. And Jesse, this is the world we live in today too. Transgender athletes wanting. Listen, let me put my disclaimer out immediately. I have multiple gay friends. I have nothing wrong with the gay community. I have all the respect in the world. Love is love. You do whatever you want with your life. You sleep with whoever you want. I have no problem with that whatsoever. This is where I do have the problem. I have the problem with men that become females and then competing against biological females. And I have a problem with that. And you know what's crazy? I'm not the only one. Multiple states now are passing laws where transgender athletes are not allowed to compete with biological male or female athletes. And let me explain this to you. If you want to be transgender, I have zero against transgender people. Zero. Nothing. If you're confused, you think that you should be a different sex, I'm not here to tell you shouldn't be. You go ahead and do that. So this is my solution. You have to now have a transgender division. Not during the same meet, your own separate, just like the men have theirs separate, the females have theirs separate. Now the transgender athletes have to have theirs separate. Now, there only might be two people in the race to start. And then as time goes on, you'll build it up. But this is how it should go. Like Riley Gaines has been crucified by literally the transgender community because a biological. Listen, this is the world. This is the bizarre world we live in today, Jesse. A biological female is mad because she didn't get the trophy because she tied a transgender athlete, and they said for optics and how it should look, we're giving the transgender athlete the trophy. Now, I'm not blaming the transgender athlete here. I'm blaming the fucking idiots that allowed the race to go on with a biological female and a transgender athlete. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with you being transgender. Okay. So that I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with you being a transgender athlete competing against biological females. And as we saw in MMA, we had a male that was a transgender female and was fighting other females and almost killed the female in an MMA fight. Don't take my opinion of it, but that's okay. Everybody, come on, man.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to
think about it.
They're going to have to make another class. They have to, because, and again, even the Olympics have said, no, we're not going to allow this transgender athletes right now. Yeah, and so they're going to have to do another class. There's no question, and they can. It'll just be like the second men's class.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But I'm saying the transgender athletes. I got respect for you. Go ahead and compete, but not against females or whatever the case may be. That is not okay. And how
it is a thing. My question is okay, you're doing that, but with all the equality talk with women and things like that, how do they feel? Like, I mean, ask them. Like that's my question.
Yeah, isn't it funny? We're on the show right now, and you know what people are saying? Oh, look at the two white guys. Look at the two white guys talking about this. Like, I know that my daughter watches the show. She'll be saying she's swearing at me right now, probably on the screen right now. She's like, "Look at my dad fucking talking about transgender shit. He doesn't even know a transgender person." That's what she's saying. Well, but I'm telling you this. Once again, listen to my voice. I am not putting down transgender people or athletes. I'm saying they have to be in a different classification because it's clear. It's a clear,
It's I look to now the female athletes that are standing up and saying something, because here they are. They go through their whole life working for this stuff through college, especially in the case of the swimming one, where very low level male swimmer decides somewhere in the program, didn't go through the whole life of swimming in the pool with females, getting, winning high school championships, getting college scholarships, becoming one of the best in the nation, becoming one of the best in the world, and then losing it like that right at the end. That kind of stuff. Ask them how they feel.
Correct.
That's the thing. That's who we should be talking. Like the trans athletes, again, another category, fine, but it's not up to them. It's up to the people already in.
You are correct. You know what's funny? We all have to dissect this differently, and you just did it for all of us. Is that we cannot blame the transgender athlete for getting the trophy that day. And Riley, I love you. You're awesome. Riley Gaines is just awesome. But Riley, you can't be mad at that person either. You have to be, and hopefully you're mad at the powers to be that allowed that, because that's whose fault it is.
Yeah.
That's whose fault it is that's allowing this. Any transgender athlete that is told you can go fight another, you can go fight that female, and you were a male.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think there is in that Riley case. I mean, like, it is her fault.
Whose fault?
Riley's. She could say no.
No. Why is it her fault? No, it's because the other women are in the race. Yeah. So why would it be her fault? It would be the fault.
I forgot the name of the trans person.
But Riley Gaines was
the person that was second. Sorry.
She's the biological female.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, not her. The one she was competing against. Yeah. That I think it's that person's fault, because they still did it. Like, maybe they were encouraged. Maybe they were pushed into it. But
they were allowed to do it. They were allowed to do it. Someone allowed to. If they said to the transgender athlete, sorry, you cannot be in this race because this is for biological females.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't happen though. I was like,
it did not happen, but that's not the transgender athlete's fault.
Let's put you in this.
But that's not the transgender person's fault. That's the people that are organizing the race's fault. There's a governing body that has to say, hey, you know what, man? This is for biological men, this
Well,
race,
I'm
and
not saying
biological
either
females.
of them are not at fault, but I think she had a thing too where she could have said no, knowing, but she wanted to win. She wanted the gold. And again, like that's the ethical question for me. I'm like, okay, is that
no? Excuse me, they got it. They got it.
I don't know her pronouns. They could be different.
But what I'm trying to tell you, it's not. It's technically it wouldn't be a she. They got it, and I've had it. So this is the mentality.
Okay.
But when Riley Gaines is being attacked by transgender people and gay people, I don't know why gay people, because I know so many gay people that want to run as far away from the transgender argument as possible. Like they don't want that attached to their cause. They don't want it attached to pride. They don't want it attached to nothing. And I know a lot of gay people.
Yeah, it's a little more torn on that side.
Yeah, they want to. They're like, no, man. I don't. I was talking to people I know, and they were telling me that, Mark, we don't even know a transgender person. And I was like, either do I. So
I know a few, but yeah,
which is great. And then I'm not uncomfortable around transgender people. I don't feel awkward around them. I have all the respect for humans in every way possible. We're talking about sports.
Yeah,
and the governing bodies are the ones that need to deal with this.
And it's a different thing when biologically you are as strong as a man. So then you're put into. That's why they separated men and women in the sports categories in the first place.
But then Serena Williams said it best one time. She said, "If I played the 200th ranked male in the world, I would have a problem."
Wow.
The 200th ranked man in the world, I would have a problem.
Jeez.
Jesse, you can say it on this show today. Did you not spar the 8-time world female boxing champion? Yes or no?
Yes.
And were you but were you careful when you were sparring with her?
Yeah. Of course.
Watch now. We're getting somewhere here. Hey, when you would spar me, you're not careful. You're like, oh, fuck, I'll just throw whatever I want at this cement head. And I'm an old guy now. I'm an old guy. I'm not like a professional boxer, but you actually sparred the 8-time world champ, and you were careful, even though she was the 8-time world champ. Jesse, do you think for 1 second, even for sparring, that you could be in the ring sparring with the 8-time world male champion?
Probably not.
Not even for a joke.
No.
Not even. And I'm not saying Jelena was going 100%.
No, she wasn't.
And she was not. But what I'm saying is
just the sheer weight. I weighed at least twice her weight, and probably
that's what I'm saying,
6 inches taller.
Correct. But so even a middleweight fighter that's a male, would you be able to spar that person? Probably not.
No,
Jesse.
probably not. Yeah, and again, that is the point. Like that's people. There is a discrepancy, and we know that. We know that by seeing men's sports, and you can't argue that. I would say that a lot of female athletes are way stronger than men. I get it. But at the top elite levels, NHL, NBA, NFL, there's a reason why a woman hasn't got into those yet, because they're already at a disadvantage. They could be smarter. They could be, have a better intellect for all of it. But just because of physical ability, I mean, you can't. And again, that's just the science, guys. That's how it is. That's why we separated the two sports at the beginning. Maybe one day there will be, and I think one day there will be a female that can crack one of those sports and be great.
You really believe that?
I think one day.
You believe
the great part is different. The great part could be 1,000 years away. The cracking into the sport, I could see it happening.
2023, Jesse, and there's still not a Navy SEAL that's been a female.
Yeah,
2023, still not.
And that's an interesting thing, and people talk about that too. But that's the kind of thing that, hey, this is the rule. This is what you have to do, and it's not based on you have to be this tall or whatever. Although there are some stipulations to think around that. But there's this list of tasks, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you complete these, you can be a Navy SEAL. And,
Mm-hmm.
and again, like that's how it is. So, in the terms of like, people, I mean, again, I there is a discrepancy, and we know that. We know that by seeing men's sports, and you can't argue that. I would say that a lot of female athletes are way stronger than men. I get it. But at the top elite levels, NHL, NBA, NFL, there's a reason why a woman hasn't got into those yet, because they're already at a disadvantage. They could be, have a better intellect for all of it. But just because of physical ability, I mean, you're can't. And again, like that's professional sports, there's a list of tasks that you have to be able to check. Now, you don't have to do all those like the Navy SEALs would, but you do need to be on that page and with a very high grade, no less, because how many men that are amazing athletes don't make those leagues? So
Correct.
Again, like that's the thing. Like one day, actually, I should take it back. I don't think one day a woman would be great. I think one day maybe one could crack into the league, and I think the best chance, which we've seen already, is race car driving, which we've seen a number of that.
Yeah. But that's in question still. That race car driving is a sport. That's
hey, again, I think that if it wasn't, the F1 would already have a female driver on a team. I really do. If that wasn't true, then yeah, but it is true, which is why you still have to see athletes in the seat.
I agree.
That to me is the proof that it is a sport, because it's not
because of that.
Because if it was in this day and age, there would already be women drivers in F1. It proves it right there. There is a physical part. F1's a sport. It is a physical, intense.
But then
sport.
you have Danica Patrick.
Yes, who did it in NASCAR, which is much different, but still no qualms, and had some success in her career too. It wasn't like, it was up and down, but whatever, as many racers are.
But she wasn't the worst. Yeah,
no, she wasn't the worst. So I do think that there's a very close possibility that could be next. In the F1 world, and depends how the cars get built.
Listen, we're talking NHL, we're talking NBA, we're talking NFL.
Baseball.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And listen, let me explain this to you. And baseball.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I think the WNBA is awesome. I do. So what happens now is Charles Barkley says, you know what? Or Shaq says the other day, you know what we should do, man? We should get that rim a little lower.
Yeah.
Maybe an inch, 2 inch and a half, because that's just the amount that there's going to be a handful of people on each team that can actually slam dunk it. And you know what he said? And I couldn't agree more. He wasn't putting down anybody from the WNBA. You know why I know that? Because then someone would have dunked the ball already, Jesse.
Yeah.
Someone would have dunked it. Like, I'm sure someone has dunked it, but it doesn't have. It's
very
like if
rare.
someone.
It's not every game, which we're used to seeing.
Are you crazy? It's not every 20 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's absolutely right. I think that is, and every other sport has a rule like that somewhere.
Yes.
Where there's a different measurement or something like that.
And that's my point. It's like, listen, no one is talking ill about females, transgender on the show. It's not about that.
Yeah,
it's about stating. It's about
hearing that.
It's about stating the reality that no one's talking about this subject the correct way. In the fact that you do have to have a separate kind of action for transgender athletes.
Yeah, you do. It has to be a different category.
And a story. And the problem is, there's not enough transgender athletes at a high level right now, probably, to form these type of things.
Maybe not a league, but I think the Olympics, it'll happen there. I think they'll do that and have one of those. And I'm sure worldwide, they'd get a bunch. I mean, mostly it would be United States, really, and Canada.
Yeah.
But, mostly there. So, again, that's the other thing, too. Like, do that in the worlds then. Do that in the world,
that's right. That's where you started,
and that kind of thing. You can pioneer that kind of stuff. It's funny though, because we see it all the time. We see people shouting from the distance, but really they could start this right away if they wanted to.
Right away.
Yeah, it is one of those weird things. I don't know.
But what about this, Jesse? Why is NHL now gone and said no more warm-up jerseys? No more warm-up jerseys anymore. Okay, one jersey. We're wearing our home jerseys at home. There's no more. We're going to wear one for Pride. We're not wearing one for this. We're not wearing one for that. Now, how did that happen? Well, in a time when that should have never happened, because the woke world has said, no, you're gonna wear 47 different jerseys. Now the NHL, can you imagine in this day and age, has said, nope, we ain't doing it no more.
Well, they saw what happened to Bud Light. They did. They saw what happened. and they know they're you know, for the most part, their demographic is the same that would drink Bud Light, and so you have to be mindful of it now. I think that the one way that people listen is by how many dollars you spend. That's it.
Yeah.
Like those companies, they listen if you don't spend money with them. That's why all the other things that you like, hey, boycott this, boycott that, they never work because not enough people aren't spending their money. But Bud Light found out in a severe way.
Did they ever?
That people showed what they really felt by not spending their money with them. And the NHL cannot afford that. They can't afford it whatsoever. And in some of the markets that it gets pushed the most around that, you know, it's just not going to fly. It's not good for the team. And I think the owners got together and said, hey, there's just way too much. That's
exactly,
around this still.
Jesse, bingo.
Yeah.
If you think Gary Bettman had the nutsack to do this on his own, you're an idiot.
No,
because in a million years, he did not have the nutsack to do this. But all the owners of all these teams that you don't even know any of their names, just a few of you know some of the owners, their names. But I guarantee 90% of the teams in the NHL, you don't know the names of the owner. And you know why? Because they want that anonymity.
Yeah.
And what they want it because they go to Bettman and they say, enough is enough.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Yeah, we can't afford this.
People want to watch hockey.
And I think that I do think that's what sports should be. Like I get
it's supposed to be mindless.
Yeah.
When you're watching sports, it's where you escape not to think of anything.
And I know there's important things like, you know, the troops and breast cancer, and there's things like that. But what happens is that you have to take everyone if you take those. And so it's like, okay, well, now we just say no to everybody. And it sucks because you want some of those other things to happen, but it actually makes more sense because people are going to get so pissed now that they're just not going to buy your product anymore. And I think finally, I do think that is what the power should be. It should be with people, and we should be able to vote with our dollars.
Jesse, it's the same mentality as listen to me when I explain this to you. I have a gay brother. Okay, I have a brother that's married to another man. So here we go. Here's the disclaimer today. You want a disclaimer? Here's a disclaimer. I have a brother who's married to another man. I have my golfing partners are gay. I don't care. You want to have a pride night? Have a pride night. You want to have 10 pride nights? Have 10 pride nights. I don't care. But the NHL does all of a sudden. You know why? Because two guys on one team say, I don't care there's a pride night, but I'm not wearing the jersey.
Yeah, right.
Wait a second. They said, I don't care that there's a pride night. I don't care. Go ahead and pride away.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that, but I'm not wearing a rainbow jersey.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but that's his point of view. Now, so what you're saying now is you're crucifying the guy that says, I don't want to do that. He's not denouncing any gay people. He's not denouncing anybody. He just says that that's not for him. And they,
of course, say, well, if it's not for you, then you're a bigot.
Well, the guy in Major League Baseball got outed because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so now he goes, oh, I'm not going to wear the jersey. I don't want to wear the jersey. And then the other guy next to him goes, well, if he doesn't want to, I don't want to either. Right?
Yeah.
And so this is what I'm trying to get at, right? So to avoid all this stupid shit, right? They're saying now that's a wrap. You know what's funny? I love Canada. I love it. I stand when the national anthem plays with my hand on my heart. Okay, I do. My hat is off and my hand is on my heart. You know what the crazy part is? There's nothing or no cause in the world that would make me kneel down because I'm a white, successful male. I'm in the shittiest demographic in the world right now. And so are you, Jesse, because we got to keep our mouth shut. So I'm saying to you, I'm not going to say to someone, oh, that's bad that you're kneeling or not kneeling or whatever. But I'm just saying, as a Canadian, I stand with my hand on my chest. I train the Canadian military. Okay. I was with them. I saw their faces. I would, you know what, 99.9% of them have said kneeling for the Canadian national anthem, what that would mean to them, it would kill them. That's what they said.
Yeah.
So I actually trained the Canadian military. So for me to do something like that would be insane. So do I think the Colin Kaepernicks of the world did it for the reason that we all think they did? Bullshit. I don't think they did it for that reason. I think they did it because he exactly got what he got from Nike. He got what he got from other people. They're claiming him to be the next Malcolm X. They're patting him on the back and telling him he's the next Martin Luther King, which he's none of those people. He's none of them. He's not in the same league as Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali. Stop calling him that. He's not those people. Those people sacrifice shit for no money. No money. They didn't make one penny off of anything. In fact, it costed them money to do what they did. So you want to argue about these type of things, guys. I've educated myself immensely on these topics. And I'm telling you, you're looking at certain people, what they're doing, but are they doing it for the right reasons? And that's my point.
We'll be right back, everybody, on the Me and Jesse podcast.
Introducing Backscape, the superhero of back hair removal.
Hey there, I'm in Backscape World Headquarters. My name is Baxter Archibald Kingscape, spokesperson here at Backscape. And I know why you're here. Either you or someone you know has one hairy back, and you're trying to get rid of it.
We understand the struggle with unruly back hair. In fact, 77% of women agree. It's not the ideal look. But don't worry, we're here to help you reach your smoothest potential. We've built Backscape to tame that wild back jungle in minutes. Our mission is to empower every man to feel his best, look his best, and help him reach his smoothest potential.
Backscape gives you the confidence whether you're at the pool, the beach, hey, anywhere you go. You can stay smooth all year long.
Our patented technology ensures the smoothest, most comfortable, and close shave every time.
We believe in something else here at Backscape, and that's how you feel about us. Our customer service is the best. Hey, even if you need relationship advice, our customer service agents are that good.
We're so confident that you'll love the Backscape experience that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try Backscape risk-free. When you choose Backscape, you're gaining a friend. We're here for you, guiding you on your smooth journey to a smoother, more confident you.
You know, being smooth in today's world is a commodity. I used to look like this, but after Backscape, you can see what you're dealing with.
You can maintain the highest quality grooming standards without having to break the bank, without having painful waxing, and without having to rely on someone else to do it for you. So ask yourself this: are you ready to get out of that back hair prison? Remember, at Backscape, we've got your back. Or rather, your smooth back.
My name is Baxter Archibald Kingscape, and on behalf of Backscape, we thank you. If you haven't joined the Backscape Brotherhood yet, why not? Now is the time. Join the Backscape Smooth Generation and be one of those fine, smooth gentlemen, much like myself. Backscape has you covered, so you won't be covered in back hair anymore. And remember, as always, stay smooth, gentlemen.
And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the Me and Jesse podcast. Mark Pavelich, all the way over there, down there. I'm Jesse Martineau. Well, we've been talking about a lot of things, but a lot of it, you know, the hypocrisy, a lot of that in sports going on, a lot of interesting times.
But what about now? Even with the name changes of all the teams, like we're seeing that in
for a while now.
And now we're seeing that in NFL, we're seeing that in NHL, and now you see a team like the Chicago Blackhawks that said, "Nah, we ain't doing it.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it." And you know what happened? No one asked them questions about it anymore either. You know what? You know what's funny? You brought up the Bud Light thing, and you know what's funny? The expression is "go woke, go broke," right?
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy part is that you look at this now and you're shaking your head. You're like, yeah, why didn't the Chicago Blackhawks, with arguably if you're going to be woke, the craziest logo ever for that and the name. And they said no. Fans said no.
No. Yeah.
And the nation there said no.
Yeah.
They want the name Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And but everybody else ran and changed their name, even locally.
Oh, yeah.
The Edmonton Eskimos
Yep.
changed their names to the Elks.
Yeah.
Now, their team is horseshit. They're
very bad.
0-6. They haven't won a home game in 2-3 years. Like it's crazy. The crowds have been at a record low. The new general manager, Victor Hui, whatever his name is, came from MMA to CFL, and he's running this team, and he might be responsible for running it right into the ground.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's anybody is saying the first thing you got to do is change the name back to the Eskimos. And listen, and you know what you need to do? Bring as many Eskimo people as you could fly in here to see if they're okay with that name. And I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you $1 that they're okay with that name.
I think
you know why?
Of them already said that. Yeah.
Didn't you see this? Didn't you see the thing on TikTok the other day? Kid dresses up in a Mexican outfit, white kid.
Yes, I remember.
And he goes around to like all these white people, and he goes, "Do you find this offensive?" Every white person said, "It's so offensive. I can't believe you're wearing that in public." Then this kid goes and he approaches 20 Mexican people, and all 20 people said, "Oh, we think it's awesome. You look great, man. You look fantastic. You know, oh, your mustache is crooked, but you look good." You know, like it was stuff like that. And you could see this wasn't made up. You could see this was like a live thing that he was doing. And it was so funny because I thought, wow, white people want to point out what's racist, but the people that you're saying that the Eskimo community thinks having the name Eskimos is incorrect. But if you fly them here, I guarantee they think it's a tribute to them. Like, just like the Blackhawks probably think, oh, that's a tribute to someone. You actually think when they came up with these names that they were actually thinking, oh, we're going to really become a bunch of racist people and we're just going to put them down? No, that's not what they thought at all.
Well, that's the argument, because some people think they were.
Correct.
Some people think they were being very racist when they did it.
Yeah, not one Blackhawk and not one Eskimo thought that's the facts. Because why did the Chicago Blackhawks with their logo, look at their logo, okay, everybody, iconic logo, they said, screw you.
Yeah.
We're keeping our name. We're keeping our name. We don't give a shit. We don't care.
Yeah.
And no one's asking him now.
Oh, no. I think the league said, like, hey, this year, guys, we're going to keep it about hockey, and that's it. We're not going to entertain these other things right now. I mean, I got to give them to them for deciding that.
You 100%. You have to give it to. And now, once again, like you said, if the cancer people suffer because listen, watch this. If the pride people suffer because of it, the cancer people suffer from, or the military suffers because of. You know what? Now you all suffer. You remember when your dad did that? Your dad did that shit to you, right? If you don't shut up, Mark, I'm taking that shit away. Matt, if you don't shut up, Carol, you don't shut up, I'm taking it away. Now, no one's getting it, you know? And that's what happened. This is what happened. It was going on. Everybody's arguing with everybody, and now all of a sudden, no one's getting it. Yeah. That's how it works in life.
And the funny thing is, too, is like when you think about it, it's a jersey. So you can still do those nights if you want. You don't get the jersey.
Yeah, but you should still do those nights, in my opinion.
And that's what I mean. That's what people are thinking.
100%.
Like, well, they're getting rid of all that. No, they're just getting rid of the NHL custom jersey thing. Which,
correct.
Fine. Yeah, I'm totally cool with them getting rid of that.
47 different jerseys a year.
I know, it's ridiculous.
For different causes. It's beyond mind-boggling that that's going on.
Yeah, there's so many. It doesn't make sense at all.
It does not.
And you're just trying to sell jerseys, which is also stupid. So just now they're saying none. Well, you have your home, away, and your alternate jersey that you can wear. That's what it is. That's what everyone gets. Have as many nights. Every night can be a night for something if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead. But we're not making a jersey for it anymore. And we're not mandating a league-wide jersey push anymore either. So again, I mean, hey, yeah, I think that that's pretty cutting edge for sports, especially when they're trying to be so, current with current events. Like you can see, like, hey, that wouldn't actually make sense. I don't know if we'll see another league do that or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, this last season in the NFL, did you see anybody kneeling down?
No, they got. Well, I think there might have been some, but they
No,
definitely
no,
didn't
no,
show
no.
it anymore. It's like when they
Jesse,
don't show
Jesse,
the guy
it was
streaking
gone.
across the field. They don't show
Yeah.
the guy kneeling down anymore either.
Yeah. No, they don't. See, you imagine that? That's how it works now.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
so
There might
there's
be guys
very,
doing it, but they're not showing it.
very few people are. Very few people are. And the same thing that they initially said they were kneeling about is still going on in the United States. So your kneeling did nothing to solve it. You know what I mean? Like these things that you think that are actually
Well,
going on.
Again, this just shows like how these social issues, especially even in sports, it's just till the new one comes out. It's just so the new thing happens.
Correct.
Like
Correct.
we don't really hear the kneeling thing anymore. It's shifted completely to trans rights in sports, and so you're like, okay, well, I guess we're on to this now. Did that other thing get fixed? And that's the silly part of it all, is that all the things that you're really trying to raise awareness for are getting overshadowed by the controversy. So have those things that you want to do. Don't make it there's a line where you have to be controversial or not, and I'm not sure if faking the controversy or creating it so that there could be a controversy so it can cut through noise it's a move. It's a game now, and I don't know if these guys should be playing it like that. Let's play sports. It's kind of the thing that we can all, or we used to be able to all come together and lay down, all the political and other differences. Although some people will now tie that to their moral compass as well, but you're supposed to be able to lay all those things down and and unify around a team. And you have 30 other teams that you hate, so you can all have a common enemy too. And it doesn't matter. It's supposed to bypass and bring people together. And you know what happens when you bring people together through sports and things like that? You get to know one another, and you build, and maybe people's mindsets change because you actually start to communicate with some people around you, all because you had a common goal of hoping your team wins. And to me, that's what sports do. And it's fun. And it's the one thing that we're supposed to have that kind of kept us sane. I mean, hey, yeah, we've evolved from putting humans into the fight and killing each other, although they do fight each other still. But you know what I mean? That was the first sport thing. Hey, you fight him until one of you die. And you're like, okay, well, that wasn't good. So we fixed all that stuff. We fixed it now. We give them balls and nets and sticks and things to do. Yeah. And sure, so now they're not dying as frequently, but it's still entertainment. And that was the whole point in the beginning. And I don't know. I think all these other scenarios and nights and events, and it takes away from it. It takes away from it. I don't even think they should sing the national anthem during regular season games. I just don't. I don't. No. I make it about sports. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make a National Hockey League.
But isn't that like saying that though too, Jesse? What you just said, make it about sports, because that's the ongoing off topic, but similar related. When I heard someone say the other day is said, enough. If you're a teacher and you're teaching my children, you should be teaching them mathematics, geography, history, and those subjects, not about their genders, not about their sexuality when they're 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 years old. And
I
85% of the world agrees to that.
Yeah.
It's the 15% that is saying, oh, that's okay. Teach my 8-year-old kid that they can, what they should be.
It is. It's weird. And it obviously has permeated all of our culture and every aspect of it. And the thing that it's like, it's not enough that you just have this fun thing. You have to be this other thing too. Otherwise we can't have fun with you. And again, I don't get it. And with people I know and people like, and even if we have different viewpoints, the people I like, it doesn't matter. Don't have to agree on everything, but it seems like now you can't even enjoy something fun like sports unless you agree like politically with everything that they say or do or
That's right.
don't do. And you're like, okay.
It's not enough now who's just playing.
Yeah.
Like your team, but it's like what my team stands for.
Yeah.
Listen,
or going to see the president or don't going to see the president. Don't go and see the president.
Could you imagine that, Jesse? Can you imagine that? That was a thing.
It is when a thing still.
When Casey said the 1 year we're not going when Trump was in, we're not going to go.
And then Boston goaltender for Tim Thomas didn't go see Obama. And these guys get like flamed for the. I don't think we're putting these people in the right position if we demand what they do. And again, then it breeds all this hatred. And you're like, well, why is this in sports to begin with? I don't get it. So
that's what breeds hate, though. What breeds hate is you making people do what they're not comfortable doing.
Yeah, I know they use people use it both sides of the thing, and we both
regardless which side you're on.
You both forget that, no, this I don't want to do that, and I shouldn't be made to do it. Correct. And that was what freedom became, and that's why we have sports, because we were allowed to do these things and set up these leagues and I agree. And take time on a Sunday afternoon to go and tailgate all day and then watch the game. I don't know, you go to everywhere around the world, and there's a unifying thing around sports, and it can be a waste of time. Yeah, you can get addicted to watching too much sports. Yeah, you can lose money in gambling, become addicted to that. But okay, there's always cons with absolutely everything.
Of course.
But really, sports, when you look around the world, everyone that can tie plastic bags together to make a ball can play sports, and I've been in those countries where they do that, and you look at them, and when that time hits 4 o'clock or whatever, whenever school ends and the kids all come running out, they're all playing sports because they all want to be together doing something, and it's amazing, and it should be like that for everything. And professional sports is the height of that initial fun when we have as a kid, playing with our friends street hockey or football or baseball, and escalating it to the nth degree to give all these little kids hope to keep trying for something awesome in their life.
To play a sport that you played as a kid. And now
that's
they're paying you millions of dollars to do it again. And you can see all those great people that play golf or tennis or whoever playing when they were a kid, and now they're making all this money doing it. And you say to yourself, could there ever be a better life?
Man, I just think that there's, I know soccer you see it a lot because kids come from the slums and become.
But what about this though? Messi now in Miami in the MLS.
Crazy.
I mean, come on, man. If that's not a game changer, nothing is. I mean,
yeah,
you literally that could save the league.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is something that will obviously be a big deal. And hey, I still don't think the MLS is even close to.
Oh, I agree.
Some of the bigger leagues, but this isn't going to hurt. This could be an option now for kids to play in the States, and this is what really could propel the U.S. soccer program, as you don't want to hear. This could really light a fire under it.
Yeah, correct.
And and again, we'll see what happens, but it is pretty incredible that arguably the greatest player ever is coming to the States to play.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that. You thought
he gave him the kitchen sink, though. He got the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
He got it all.
He's getting paid for it.
He's getting stock options in everything in Apple. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, this guy's this is a big deal, and they're making it one. They're paying for it. But yeah, it is one of those things. It's interesting. It's I don't know.
Well, David Beckham, right? You got to give him props because he's the owner of Miami, and he's the one that said, "Hey, okay, we got to do something shocking. We're in Miami. Miami's a dope city. It's my wife's favorite city. One of her favorite cities is Miami, and literally, I mean, it's the coolest city. So you got to have a cool guy playing for your city. Ronaldo would have been a bigger pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he would fit in Miami better than Messi. Messi's going to go home. Ronaldo's not a party guy, but Ronaldo's got that flair. He's got that James Bond. He's got that, that suave. Messi does not.
Yeah.
Messi doesn't have it. Not that.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we talked about a lot of stuff. If you agree or don't agree or whatever, leave a comment below. Tell us what you think.
We don't expect you to agree, but we do expect you to understand that we don't come from a place of hate in the regards of when we're talking about transgender and we're talking about these type of things. We have respect for all people. It's just what we're talking about today is sports and how that should all be aligned up the right way or wrong way, whichever, we can figure out.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a wrap.
That's what I think. Vacation coming up?
Yep. Time for a little vacay, everybody. We'll be back with new shows, new guests, and lots of the same old, but also new stuff as well.
Correct. And don't forget, guys, the Crystal Glass, one of our great sponsors, Crystal Glass, your clear choice for all your glass needs. Call 310-GLASS or go to crystalglass.ca. For over 70 years in the glass business. And of course, guys, one of my new favorite products, Backscape, backscape.com. It's been on the screen. And listen to me when I tell you new products coming out constantly. Yeah. Also, sign up too, guys, for the newsletter for Backscape and to start getting, on the residual. Like you guys have that thing, right? Where you can sign up and
subscribe and save. That's right.
So subscribe and save, man. And listen, and Backscape is not just for your back, everybody. It's for your front too. If you're a dude that doesn't like hair like me on their chest and on their, I've never had it. I don't like it. Mrs. P doesn't like it. I use Backscape on the front. So it's available for that as well.
Well, thanks so much, Mark, for another week and throwing out some of those heaters out there.
Well, we had to talk about it. We never talk about it because when we have guests, we don't never go this direction. So when we're alone, we will go certain directions. And like I said, we have respect for everybody and all athletes of all genders, all creeds, all colors. But we got to get organized.
Yeah, if we talk about fair play with little kids, then we need
to
talk about it across
there you
the board.
Go.
So to me, that's what that's about. But at the end of the day, enjoy sports. It's fun. It's what kind of wrecks it for a lot of people. So let's just go back to seeing some great stuff this year.
And just be mindless about sitting there eating fatty foods and be mindless watching sports.
Well, everybody, I'm Jesse Martineau. That's Mark Pavelich. This has been the Me and Jesse podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Have yourself a good night.
Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/meandjesse. Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/meandjesse. Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/meandjesse. Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at Facebook.